Hi, here we are today to talk about higher paying jobs, and if there's one subject that I do know a lot about, it's higher paying jobs. And it's about time that we started bringing the high paying jobs back to America. And one of the best ways to do that is to reduce the corporate income tax. And because it is so complicated structure the way it is now, I am suggesting that we totally eliminate the corporate income tax. That means we take it all the way down to zero, because the more companies we can bring into the United States to set up manufacturing jobs, the higher paying jobs that the people in America will have, and the higher the paying jobs, the more money we have in this society. And one of the ways to do that is by having such a low income tax on the corporations, where in this case we would lower it all the way to zero, and that way we can replace it with a VAT, GST type of tax on goods in this country, and have no tax on corporate income. And that way the income is only taxed once, and that's when it passes through to the individual people. And since the money has to go somewhere sooner or later, it ends up getting into the pockets of the people, and therefore creating more jobs and better ways for us to spend the money. And by doing that, this will be a significant enticement for overseas companies to set up their factories here in America. And once we have done that, it's long-term investment, and once that's here, then the jobs are here, and the pay for the jobs will increase significantly. So as we go forward, we will be looking to put these types of incentives in place in order to be sure that one is that the income tax on corporations is either lowered to a very low flat tax, like 5 to 10%, or eliminated entirely. Because as overseas companies come to the U.S. to set up factories, one of the concerns we also will have is that from the profits they generate, that money does not get funneled back overseas without some taxation on it, because if the money stays here, it's helping the people of this country. But if it's profits that are made with factories here in America, and then the money is shifted back overseas, then the profits are leaving this country, and therefore they should be taxed at that point. But by doing this, we will create significant amount of new jobs in high-paying factory work. And not only is that beneficial to the factory workers, but because of so much extra money in the community, that means a lot of other jobs that are created, like at Target and Walmart and every other small business up and down the street, because for every manufacturing job, there is probably 10 other jobs in the community. And probably a perfectly good example of that is in South Carolina with the BMW factory in Greenville, Spartanburg area. How many, it's probably one of the most hustling and bustling communities around, because of how many new kinds of companies, how many new kind of manufacturing companies also came there because of BMW and all of the associated jobs with it. And this gives a perfectly good example of what we can do by changing what we do with the corporate tax structure, and to bring more and more of these types of jobs back to America. So with that, this is just the beginning of a variety of topics on bringing high-paying jobs back and how they will affect everyone in the community. Thank you.